What if a nation with no oil, no farmland, and no rivers somehow became wealthier than America? The story of how Singapore defied every economic rule ever written and what it reveals about power, trust, and survival will change the way you see the world. On August 9, 1965, Singapore was forcibly expelled from the Malaysian Federation, an island of roughly 581 square kilometers with no natural resources, no fresh water supply of its own, and an unemployment rate above 10%. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew appeared on national television in tears, convinced the new nation might not survive. Lee Kuan Yew made a counterintuitive decision: Singapore would not beg for aid, it would become the world's most reliable trading and manufacturing hub. The Economic Development Board, established in 1961, aggressively courted multinational corporations, and by 1969, Texas Instruments had already opened a semiconductor manufacturing plant on the island. Singapore's most powerful resource was invisible: institutional trust. In 1995, when Transparency International published its first Corruption Perceptions Index, Singapore ranked third least corrupt nation in the world. Foreign investors could sign contracts knowing courts would enforce them without bribes, without delays, without exception. In 1965, Singapore's GDP per capita stood at approximately $516. By 2023, that figure had reached $84,734, a 164-fold increase in under 60 years. For context, the United States, starting from a dramatically higher baseline, grew only approximately 35-fold over the same period. In 2009, the global financial crisis brought the world's largest economies to their knees. The United States contracted by 2.5%, Germany shrank by 5.6%, and Iceland teetered on the edge of national bankruptcy. Singapore contracted by just 0.6%, and then in 2010, it exploded with 15.2% GDP growth, the fastest recovery of any developed economy that year. Singapore's resilience is backed by a financial war chest most nations can only dream of. As of December 2023, Singapore's official foreign reserves stood at approximately $286 billion, managed by the government of Singapore Investment Corporation and Temasek Holdings, providing a sovereign shock absorber against any global economic storm. Singapore proved that the most valuable resource any nation can possess is not oil or gold, it is institutional trust, ruthless long-term thinking, and the courage to invest in human capital above everything else. In a world where economic giants continue to stumble, the island that started with absolutely nothing built everything.